deal with anxiety?
I, I think uh, I think my largest fears of with Church in the Wild, my biggest anxieties are humanness. Like, I think so often we see the rise and the fall of um, those who have a platform, and our Church in the Wild is inherently a platform. No matter how big or small it is, it's inherently a platform. And some of my largest ones are like seeing them face to face. So whether that is, what if the people don't come, or what if our ministry is we misstep at one point. Those are like the fears that go through my mind on a day-to-day basis when I'm thinking about what God has called us to do for Church in the Wild.
Yeah, I think from February to March, April, maybe like the end of July were some extremely hard months.
Yeah.
Like, everything on the surface I felt like was good. Everything was, like, home-wise, I felt like financially too, like everything was like in a great place. But like when it came to this, I was a mess. Like, one of my biggest issues is like what you said, like just making sure that you're sound, you know? So like having a small group of people that you can trust and depend on and be like, hey, here's what I'm studying, here's what I'm gathering, tell me your thoughts. Like, what do you, like, am I in the right space? Like, is this where I'm supposed to be? There was a few times, like, I don't even remember, I was like, I'm closing everything. I don't want to read nothing. I don't want to pray. I felt like I needed a break because it was just too heavy. And the idea of, like, you know, like you said, like, what if somebody calls me out? What if somebody's like, yo, you're in error? Like, how do you deal with that? I still felt like the anxiety of, yo, you might get this wrong.
Right.
And not just this one thing, like everything.
Right.
You know?
And I think when we talk about our fears and our anxieties related to it, you said, and like anyone who is close to me knows that this year I have struggled with anxiety that I have never like seen or felt before. Yeah. And knowing that that anxiety is while unfortunate, is keeping me on my knees, and it's keeping me, you know, obviously the therapy and all of those, but like that is just super important to our heart of Church in the Wild, is the honesty, the realness of like we're imperfect people who are doing prayerfully like a perfect work through what God is doing. And I think that is like the biggest hope in the fears and anxieties, is like that we're surrendered completely, like that this is not something that we've said we want to do because we can make money from it. This is not something we have said that we want to do because it'll elevate our status or our platform. We're good. Like, if we were where we were now, we would be fine. This is something that we feel so heavy that God has placed on our hearts, that we want and desire to just breathe out. Yeah. And so I think that's the exciting part of it, but it's also just a scary part of the experience.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I did not want to do it.
And you hear people saying that, and you're like, no.
Nah, for
but
real.
Like, truly,
yeah.
would be okay.
Yeah.
And not to discount it, but.
No, I discounted it. I'm just being real. Like, yeah. I did not want to do it. Like, I remember laying, like, prostrate, face on the ground, like, sobbing. I did not want to do it. Like, I remember that. I remember just, like, I remember those days of being like, yo, I don't even want to, I'm not praying. Yeah. I don't want to talk to you. Because every time I talk to you, Lord, you always say something, I don't really want to hear from you. I don't want to deal with that right now. So, and to your point, like, about, like, getting it wrong, like, I think that's what's been so, for me, personally, what's been so beautiful about the process is like I've been able to give people who speak, people who like preach, like a lot of grace. Yeah. Because these are people that they've been studying for a while, they've been preaching for a while, they've been pastoring for a while, like, but you can still mess up. You can still make mistakes. And I think so often, like, we're in a space where, like, anytime we see, like, the smallest bit of mistake, or, like, maybe they said the wrong word. I think there was, like, this one thing where, like, I think Mike Todd said something about, like, Eve bit the apple, and everybody went crazy because he said apple.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff is scary to me.
Yeah.
Like, man said apple, and people went crazy. So it's like this idea of, like, not to say that you shouldn't continue to keep
leaders accountable, because
yeah,
they do
for
have
sure,
a
absolutely,
larger,
yeah, you
a
should.
larger act. A larger
But, like, on the side of, like, being that human, that person, like, sometimes you make mistakes, and, like, you have to be able to own that and be like, maybe I said that incorrectly here. I just want to, rehash that, and, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah.